12 miles from Cairo is Gizeh, the site of the most enigmatic structures known to mankind, the pyramids. The area of the base of the Pyramid of Cheops is about 570,000 square feet. A small town of 500 dwellings could be erected in that space. At its completion, the pyramid was 477 feet high. It has lost only 32 feet of its original height. Passages lead to its interior. The total weight of the pyramid is 6.5 million tons, roughly the weight of 65,000 locomotives. 2,300,000 stone blocks were used to build the seventh wonder of the world, each of which weighs a crushing 2.5 tons. These stone masses were transported from a quarry in the Makadam Mountains on the far banks of the Nile, at a time when men had neither cranes nor trucks.
How?
On wooden rollers, of course.
Not very likely. In those days, as today, only date palms grew in the region, a softwood whose fruit was a necessary part of the workers' diet.
And how could workmen succeed in hauling these colossal stone blocks to a height of over 400 feet?
Let's try the following figures on for size. 20,000 workmen, closely scheduled to haul and install 10 blocks a day, would need 664 years, or more than 30 generations, to build one pyramid. Thus, it couldn't have been built in the time of one pharaoh for his tomb.
If you multiply the height of the Pyramid of Cheops by 1 billion, it equals almost exactly the distance from the Earth to the Sun.
A mere coincidence?
The longitude, which runs through the center of the Pyramid of Cheops, divides continents and oceans into 2 equal halves.
Just mere coincidence?
At the end of the 16th century, the Dutch mathematician Ludolf arrived at the figure pi, by which one can determine the circumference of a circle. If we divide the perimeter of the base of the Pyramid of Cheops by twice the height, we get exactly the figure pi, which Ludolf only found 4,000 years later.
Could it still be mere coincidence?
It's almost impossible to brush off the vast body of mathematical and astronomical values embodied in the pyramid's construction as just coincidence.
This is the Pyramid of Khafre. In 1967, a team of scholars scanned the interior of this pyramid with radar in hopes of finding hidden cavities, but without results. Their efforts shed no light on its construction.
An old Egyptian proverb says, "The world fears time, but time fears only the pyramids."
The Sphinx, symbol of the riddle, the eternal enigma. 65 feet high, 237 feet long.
Its age is unknown.
The Nile Valley near Luxor, a narrow strip of fertile land in the middle of the desert. Before us stretches the Valley of the Kings.
This valley was a royal burial ground at the time of the pharaohs. Behind these cave-like entrances are steep stairs and endless crooked passages leading to the stone crypts. The crypt of King Sethos II is 300 feet deep in the interior. His burial chamber, its rectangular columns and decorative reliefs are carved directly out of the rock. Here, as in other tombs, we find fascinating wall paintings. They were achieved without daylight.
Because the dome shows no trace of soot, no torches or oil lamps were used. Scholars have suggested that these ancient artists brought sunlight into the crypts by means of a complicated system of mirrors.
The silver mirrors of that early period reflected only 40% of the light, which is why they needed so many mirrors.
These creatures all bear symbolic reference to their relationship with the heavens, with the universe.
The tomb of Tutankhamun is the smallest but most famous of these royal grave sites. All the others had been looted in the course of centuries. Only this one retained its treasures until modern times. A 19-year-old god king was laid to rest here to await the day of his resurrection from the dead. This mummy was embalmed at least 3,000 years ago, prepared for a physical rising from the dead. Mummies were consigned to the most secure resting places that could be designed.
Until recently, embalming was thought to be a religious custom.
The theory has been advanced that embalming was a skillful imitation of a physical conservation method employed by extraterrestrial visitors, attempted unsuccessfully by the Egyptians.